and welcome to episode 62 of Series 6 with Burton Albion. I've just won the Premier League, and what the hell is that transfer budget? I thought this summer was going to be the most interesting transfer window that we've had at Burton. I've cleaned out my shortlist and selected players that are just brilliant, perfect additions to the current Burton Albion squad. I've also looked at the players retiring, and there's some fantastic names on that list as well. But how can I do anything with a £19 million transfer budget? That has really ticked me off. I've just won the Premier League with this side. This side that needs huge investment in squad depth. I am annoyed, so fucking annoyed. Oh my god! Sky report from Sweden brings back Krista Olsen, overall of 53 to 67 with the potential of 78 to 94. Carl Johan Mullins, overall of 37 to 53 with the potential of 66 to 92. And Stefan Söderqvist, overall of 47 to 61 with the potential of 70 to 94. Well, this is brilliant. I've inquired for Ross Emmanuel Thomas, and he will be available for £31 million. 31! Transfer offer for Kadir Ogunjimi from Newcastle. I am going to counter offer at £4.7 million. He's a very good player, but the reason why I'm getting him out of the squad is that he's taken up a lot of wages. They've decided to match the £4.7 million asking price for Ogunjimi, and he's a step closer to signing for Newcastle United. Transfer offer for Sarcevic from Bayern Munich. Let's squeeze every single penny out of this deal. Counter offer at £2.6 million. Ogunjimi has been sold to Newcastle United. We now have £27.7 million to put onto the table for Ross Emmanuel Thomas. We're going to start the bidding at £23 million. Bayern Munich have stopped pursuing Matthew Sarcevic. Transfer offer unacceptable. They've set a £23.5 million price tag on Ross Emmanuel Thomas, so that's the price that I'm going to have to pay. Now, I've spoke to many of my followers on Twitter, and they all agree that 90 million just isn't enough for Premier League champions. We are going to take the financial takeover, and I'm really sorry for anybody who didn't want this to happen. I'm sure you'll warm quickly to the players that I bring in, but obviously this is not the right way to do things. Transfer offer accepted for Ross Emmanuel Thomas. The fee is £23.5 million. And now we are on to wage demands. So we're going to go straight in, £60,000, 5 years and a crucial first team player. Now, out of all the players that I've shortlisted, this is the guy that I want the most. His name is Tim Clan, he's 21 years old, and at the moment he's an 80 overall centre-back. Rex Hepi would be available for £24 million. Carlos Diaz would be available for £24 million. And Tim Clan would be available for £32.5 million. Put that all together and it's a ridiculous amount of money. So hopefully I can sweeten the deal for Tim Clant by adding Fenazi as a swap player. I'll give you more information on this Carlos Diaz player. My scout found him last season. He looks like the player that Vitti should have been. Mind you, it could be another Vitti. It could be another disappointment. Let's have a little gander at this free agents list then. Alright, there's Daniele Camporessa. He's a striker, an Italian striker, 20 years old, and he's 6 foot. His acceleration is very good. His finishing could be better, but he's pretty decent for a 20-year-old. Definitely a possible backup if Gwyn Matip get injured. I haven't looked at the free agents list for 3 years, and the only person who catches the eye is that guy. One person, 3 years. The free agents list is not what it used to be. So I've gone straight into negotiations with Daniele Camporessa. He wants £15,000 a week. I'm more than happy to offer him that. Contract offer accepted. Ross Emmanuel Thomas. We have successfully negotiated the signing of Ross Emmanuel Thomas. He's back. We reviewed the offer you've made for Tim Clan. Unfortunately, we cannot go ahead with the deal because even though we are interested in the player you've offered, we do not believe that cash sum is enough. How about 23 million and Cesar Enrique Fenazi? Let's open negotiations with Carlos Diaz and Crystal Palace. He might be good, but 24 million is a risk. So we're going to drop it down to 14 million and add the player Reece Abbott, who has the potential to be a brilliant player in the future, but with Burton Albion, no. He's too slow, he's done nothing for the club, and it's time to give Ben Ilasarmi, who scored against Leverkusen, the chances that he deserves. Contract offer accepted with Daniele Camporeso. Crystal Palace has come back to us, said that they weren't interested in Reece Abbott, and the money that we offered was too low in the first place. So I'm now going to push my offer up. We're going to go for £17 million for this player. Transfer offer accepted for Tim Clan. Now this is a big deal. Unfortunately, it means that Fornazzi is going the other way, but his unpredictability has kind of caused this outcome. Carlos Diaz would be available for £18.5 million. And I think we're going to agree on that sum. Carlos Diaz is coming to Burton Albion. Unbelievably, Tim Clan has accepted a contract offer of £4,000 a week. He knows the financial struggles of Burton Albion, and I salute that. Also, I salute Fornazzi for his hard work, even though he was quite erratic. So there we are. Tim Clan is an 80 overall, whilst Emmanuel Thomas has grown to an 82. I'm basically going to put the same contract as he has with Crystal Palace. The pull for him to join us is obviously we're the Premier League champions now, and we've got Champions League football. There's another bid on the table for Matthew Sarcevic. Now, I'm not going to be silly here. I'm going to ask for the maximum that the chief executive thinks that we could get for him. £1.3 million. Carlos Diaz has accepted the offer from Burton Albion, which means that we've signed all our big targets for this summer. Yay! Matthew Sarcevic is heading to Barcelona after they matched the asking price of £1.3 million. The Community Shield is on its way, but first we've got to do a squad report. Mateus Johnson, overall of 75. Jim Harvey, overall of 84. Matt Pennington, overall of 75, gone up by 1. William Johansson, overall of 78, gone up by 1. Jamie Moore-Taylor, overall of 80, gone up by 1. Thomas Mazuch, overall of 72, gone up by 1. Alexander Rosenberg, overall of 84. Daniel Volker, overall of 73, gone up by 1. Armand Gui, overall of 77. Frank Matip, overall of 81, gone up by 1. Fabian Iker, overall of 80, gone up by 1. Manuel Lapar, overall of 72. Nicola Laley, overall of 69. Ronnie Ondon, overall of 67. George Gordon, overall of 68. Turgut Mo, overall of 65. Shuttleworth, overall of 67, gone up by 1. Michael Cueto, overall of 70. Reece Abbott, overall of 73. Serge Junior Islamovic, overall of 66. Emil Kouakou, overall of 71, gone up by 1. Jan Simic, overall of 67. Philip Simic, overall of 62. Christian Enarsson, overall of 65, gone up by 1. Ben James, overall of 64, gone up by 1. Carlos Diaz, overall of 78. My inkling was right about that guy. Daniele Camporeso, overall of 71. He looks pretty decent as well. Tim Clan, overall of 80. Ibars Newcomb, overall of 73. Ross Emmanuel Thomas, overall of 82. Jim O'Neill, overall of 62. Matthew Sarcevic, who's on his way out of the club, overall of 60, gone up by 1. Jake McCready, overall of 67, gone up by 1. Simon Avdic, overall of 60, gone up by 1. Ben Reynolds, overall of 65. Dan Dropper, overall of 57. Ben Illisormi, overall of 66. Juan Jun Wallison Molman, overall of 62. Eric Holter, overall of 70. Eric Malongo, overall of 63. Jurgic Barley, overall of 72, gone up by 1. And finally, Godzilla Beneder, overall of 65, gone up by 1. This is a good chance for Burton Albion to play some of the younger players and some of the new players. It's the Community Shield against Manchester United. It is the curtain raiser for the season. The FA Cup winners, Manchester United, against the Premier League winners, Burton Albion. The Burton logo in the background. We don't care about the United logo. Jim Harvey with the cross. There's Armand Gui just over the bar. Oh yes, look at Camporeso, a chance for a debut goal or an own goal. And the clearance off the line means that nothing's happened and it's still 0-0. Camporeso, edge of the box, he's going for the chip. Oh, what an attempt. So unlucky from the debutant. This guy is looking very lively as he goes for another shot. This time tipped away by Lindegaard. Raphael's keeping Ben Illisormi in check. This time he cuts inside. Ben Illisormi. Oh, that's another good effort. Gui's not going to get there with the acrobatics. It's a corner kick. And it's Carlos Diaz who crosses it in. Oh my word. Goalmouth scramble. I think it's been called as a foul. The ball has rolled into the net, but it won't count. It's a welcome return for Ross Emmanuel Thomas, who's back in a Burton Albion shirt. Also in the background there, Shuttleworth is coming on in the place of Ben Illisanmi. Oh, Johnson, you idiot! And that's probably what's going to settle the Community Shield. Johnson spilled the first shot, not a shot that he should be spilling, and Wayne Rooney pounced on it, chipping it over the helpless keeper. Man United have won in the Community Shield. The Burton boys did well but couldn't find the net. It's a trophy that's passed Burton by, and it's not been a good couple of months for the Burton Albion manager Adam Pond. Matthew Sarcevic has gone to Barcelona for £1.3 million. The opening day in the Premier League, and we are away against Sunderland. Oh no, that is a cracking ball. We are open straight away, and that is not a good start to the Premier League, is it? Sunderland are 1-0 up. Keeper. Keeper! Oh my... What are you doing, Johnson? Half-time has come, and it's a big surprise. The Premier League champions are trailing here, 1-0. It was such a bad first half that I'm making 3 substitutions straight away. We've got Ross Emmanuel Thomas, Tim Clant and Carlos Diaz coming on. Go, go. Here is Frank Matip. Chance to miss. Well played. Ross Emmanuel Thomas. Yes, Matip's onside, and it's a goal for Burton. Ross Emmanuel Thomas makes an assist. Back at Burton. His first Premier League game. It's a great ball to Matip and a cool finish. Here's Carlos Diaz. Yes, Carlos Diaz. Oh, get in, son. There we go. Worth every single penny of that £18.5 million. The great thing is, Sunderland will now push up after playing all the game defensive and open up for chances like this. Armangui makes it 3-1. Heading back. Oh, Tim Clant, you beauty. It was a rocky start, but we have won the opening game of the season against Sunderland. The final score, Sunderland 1, Burton Albion 3. This has been Cutzy. Hope you've enjoyed this episode of Youth Squad Legends. If you have, please give it a like, and I will see you next time.